Hey folks, it's Mike from TV Parts Today. Today we're going to be removing the boards out of a Sony XBR-55X900C. So let's get right into it. First thing that we're going to do with this one is a speaker removal. These are the speakers in the back of this TV. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. The first thing you want to do is to notice where all the screws are that you're going to need to take out, as well as the tape. There's a screw here, 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 and here. We are going to remove those screws, as well as lift up the tape here on the sides. There's also another strip here, and there are two strips of tape here. We will get to these in a moment. First, just go ahead and take these two guys here and peel them up and fold them back. Do it gently if it's sticking. Once those are up, you can kind of work with this one up top. You may need to do some more work first beforehand, but this one's coming up just fine, and that'll lift up just like so. Next thing you want to take note of is your screws again. We're going to get right into those. Those are out of the way. Next thing you want to look at are these connectors here and here. They're just your regular clips that you want to pinch down and pull in either direction. So this first one here, you're just going to want to pinch down, pull that one out. Same with this guy, pinch down, pull out. Next thing to take note, if you move these are about ready to come out. However, we've got this here that we've got to mess with first. So the next thing you want to do is take out one screw here and one screw here. And with those out of the way, you can now pinch down on this top clip and you're just going to pull it out this direction. You might need to use both hands for this because there's not a lot of room to work with. That one comes right out. And for the rest of this Wi-Fi chip, we can just lift up on this, flip it over, and we easily have access to this back clip, which is another just pinch and pull kind of situation. As far as this little guy here goes for the wire, we're just going to lift very gently up to separate that from the board. And that's going to be it for this Wi-Fi chip. Once that's removed, a big portion of this is good to go. Now that we've got that moved, we can see these strips of tape here. We are going to want to remove both of these. Be very gentle with it. Try not to rip them. They might stick. They might be a little easier to come up. Again, just lift up. All right. Take note of how these cables are going around through here. What you're going to want to do is lift this speaker up, and you can see it kind of like weaves in and out of these. It kind of goes under this guy, over that one, and under the next one. So honestly, you just want to snake that out. And there we have our speaker removed from this side. We're going to want to do the exact same thing on this one. Take note of any cords or cabling that might be in your way and gently lift it up, and it comes just free. And this plate here is what's going to cover our T-con. We will get into that momentarily. This here is going to be the power supply itself. We're just going to have two wires to disconnect here and here. We do have a handful of screws around the outside, here, 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 and then 1, 2, and 3 across the top there. So first thing as always, you want to get these cables out. This is going to be a pinch and release. Just press down on that top and pull it out. Same way on this one, press down on the top and pull out. And you just take your drill and get these screws out. And with those screws removed and the cabling undone, this should be a pretty simple lift out. And there we have it. And that is the power supply. And boogieing on down, we've got this guy here. This is a sub power supply. Same situation. We've got a clip here and one right here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on the outside. First step, go ahead and get these cables removed. Just pinch down and pull out. This one here, pinch down and pull it out. and that should just lift up very easily. And that's our sub power supply. And here we have our main board. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cables we're going to remove. After that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of these screws to take out. So the first thing you want to do is go with these wiring harnesses here first. Again, pinch it, and on these, we've got clips on the sides. Pinch those and just pull it straight out like that. You can kind of see here, these clips are right here, left and right on this one. Same thing with this guy. Pinch it and pull. You might need to use 2 hands to get a good grip with it. And be very gentle, and that comes right on out. Now, these ribbon cables are a bit different than what you're normally used to working with. You've got this white piece here. You're going to want to just press down in the middle of that and then pull that out. So, as best I can to show you, just pinch down on that top piece. It just comes right out like that. We'll go on to this one. You just press down on the top. There we go. And then pull it right on out. This cable here, it's going to be a pinch at the top. So, if you can, just get underneath of it for some leverage. Pinch it and pull it out. And here's a regular ribbon cable. Like always, flip up your clip. And that one comes out like so. You want to double check, make sure we've got everything removed. Looks like we're good to go. Next step, we're going to remove these screws here. And whenever we get to this plate, I'll kind of show you what we're going to want to do with this to get it out of the way. Now, as you can see, kind of up through this strip, this is our housing for this main board for all of our USB and HDMI ports down the side. It is covering up these last 3 screws. This is actually fairly easy to take out. If you just grab it here at the top and at the middle, or maybe even down here, you should be able to just slide this out and it should come right off of this board. And as you can kind of see here, it's got clips that go underneath of the board as well. And that's why you're going to run into some resistance, but as long as you're gentle with it, this should just pull out just fine. And last step for this one, we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 screws. So we're just going to get those out. And that should be it for this main board. We should be able to just lift this up and out like so. All right, and we're moving on to the T-Con. The T-Con is situated underneath this plate, and if you remember from earlier, these speakers were right on top of this, as well as the Wi-Fi chip right here in the front. Now that that's out of the way and we've got the rest of these boards removed, this should be relatively simple. One thing to take note is this screwdriver here. You want to get a number 1 Phillips head screwdriver. The smaller, the better. The screws that we are working with are very small, and if you strip them out, you're going to have a very bad time trying to get them removed. So to avoid that altogether, number 1 Phillips head screwdriver, and we should be good. Starting off, taking a look around here, we've got 1 screw here, 1 on the side, 2 up top here, and then 1 more on this left-hand side with a little bit of tape. That'll be relatively easy to remove. So let's just get into it. Alright, once those are removed, this isn't ready to come up just yet. We need to remove this plate here first, so just pull it back, and you will see 2 hidden screws here underneath. If you were to try to pull this up first without removing these, you would probably bend either the bezel here on the television itself, or maybe even this entire shield. Either way, just make sure you don't have any components that need to be removed first. Once we've got that off, we can remove these 2 screws, and then before we lift this up, we're going to focus on getting these 3 cables disconnected first. So let's get into that. And once those screws are removed, you're going to want to focus on this clip first. It's going to be another pinch and pull. So you're just going to try to get some leverage underneath of it. Pinch back and pull that right on out. Now these two LVDS cables here, they may give you some grief. Don't fret, just be patient with it. You'll want to pinch down on the sides, and I found the easiest way to work with this is to use both of your hands. Pinch and kind of hold it in place on the sides, and you should be able to just slowly but surely wiggle that out of there. You don't want to have too much give on it, but you do want to have enough pressure that you're actually releasing these. So there we go. Do the same thing on this one here. You're going to just pinch on the sides and pull this straight out. It's all one piece. Do take note that your cables are probably going to get in your way. Just kind of shimmy them out of your way as much as you can. You'll want to lift up this tape just a bit. See if you can get up underneath of it there. There we go. And this shield should come up no problem. And here we see our T-Con. At this point, we've just got a few more things to undo and we're finished with it. We've got this ribbon cable here, and then we've got 2 more screws here on the side, and I believe that will be it. Flip these up with your fingernail, slide it on out. And it should pull right out. Excellent. And this should just lift right up out. And that is our T-Con. And now we have arrived at the LED driver. The first thing you'll want to take note of is your cabling all through here. You're going to want to get some of this out of your way first. If you've got just a small flathead screwdriver, this is going to make your life a lot easier. Just plug on this side, on this clip, and there's some cabling running through it, and there's also another one here on this side. We're going to do it to both of them. You're going to push this in and just pull it on out. Pinch the side, that clip should be fine, and that pops right up. And now we've got these cables free. Going over here to this side, we're going to do the exact same thing. Push in, lift up, and now we have these that we have some wiggle room with. Just kind of move these out of your way as best you can. Now over on this side, you're going to see this plastic shielding going over your LVDS cables. All you're going to want to do is lift straight up and get underneath your cabling, and be very careful. There is some more tape underneath of this. You just pull it right on up, and that should be good to go. Moving this out of the way, just kind of follow through and see where your next spot's going to be. It looks like it's going to be right here with this cable. We're going to need to get this one out of the way as well. Honestly, if you just pull up a bit on the cabling, you can get your finger underneath of that tape, and that lifts right on up. If you want, take that whole strip off and just put it near this and move that out of your way here, just somewhere where it's gives you more room to work with. Taking a look elsewhere across this, looks like we've just got some screws to get this top housing off of it, and then we can see the LED driver itself and what we're working with these clips all the way around the edges. So let's go ahead and get these screws out. And there we have our housing removed. Now taking a look on this, it looks like it's going to be fairly simple. It does not look like there are any other screws holding this into place. There might be some adhesive on the back side of it. So again, first thing, you're going to want to remove your cabling. This is just a regular one. You just pop that up and pull that on out. These 3 here, it's going to be a pinch and pull. Get some leverage, pinch it, and pull out. Pinch it, and it might give you some grief, but that should come out no problem. There we go. And our third one here in the middle, again, just pinch it and pull it straight out. This guy here on the side, same thing. Now that we've got those all removed, we should be ready to remove this guy. Kind of get your fingers up underneath of it. You can feel some resistance. That is for sure some adhesive underneath of that. So what you want to do is just kind of lift up, slide down. Take a look at the back and you can see this was what was holding this to the paneling here. So if you just give it a little bit of elbow grease, not too much of it, this should come out just fine. And that's our LED driver. So that was all. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. If you do subscribe to our channel, your first order with us will be qualified for 20% off. Thanks, have a good day.
Thank you for watching another TV Parts Today repair video. If you have a question regarding your TV repair, post a comment and we will try to help. And don't forget, you can help us and stay up to date by subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. Also, check us out on Facebook for exclusive promo codes.